This is Romans 8 and verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
I want to start by giving all praises, glory, and honor to
Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushai Ba'Hashem Kakadash.
My name is Brother Napak, who I got me is.
Brother Nagat.
And you want to give read the brothers from the GMS Tampa branch. You want to give double honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and blessings to hopeful elect and the ones listening in. And this lesson's more so through the Spirit, because ultimately, I was driving and I had a lot on my mind, man. A lot of worrying, just not in the spirit of just worrying, man. And I was talking about it, constantly talking about the situation that I was in. I'm not gonna get too much into detail of it, but it was just stuck on my head, man. And as you see on the thumbnail is a picture, and this was the car that was in front of me, as I was driving and this whole thing was going on. It says, "Why worry? God is in control." All right? Why worry? God is in control. Okay? And it was a spirit, bro, because ultimately it was just the Lord speaking, to me through, and that's how the Lord is. The Lord will speak to you through objects, people, certain things and certain messages just meant for you. All right? And that's what the Lord just did right then and there. And, that's just a personal testimony and an exhortation, all right, unto me. But ultimately, Lord willing, is an exhortation unto you, Akim, all right? Because we have to be in the spirit of not worrying, man. In the spirit of, leaving it in the Lord's hands and trusting in the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, okay? Because there's a lot of things that we go through and a lot of things that that sticks in our mind that Satan tries to, mess with our head through, all right? But all you got to do is trust in the Lord, man. Okay, because Satan constantly tries to attack the inward man. All right, but if you continue to have faith in the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, that is an armor unto you. Okay, so like the brother brought it out, all things work out according. All right, all things work out for the good of those that believe in the Lord, that love the Lord, man. All right, and we love the Lord, man. We have faith in the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, so all things, no matter small or big, are great. It will always work out for the men that truly believe in the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, no matter how big the problem is, all right? So if you could just bring that back for me.
Go on, bring it back. It says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
To them that are called according to the Lord's purpose, all right? And we have been called into the Lord's purpose, into his ministry, into his gospel, all right? So understanding that and knowing that the Lord's going to constantly look out for us, man. The Lord's going to constantly put us first, all right, before anybody else, because we're putting the Lord first, okay? So when it comes to certain things that tries to destroy you, all right, and destroy your mind and destroy your faith, you got to constantly believe and have faith in the Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, man. All right? Scripture says, when your mind is stayed upon the Lord, you shall have peace. Rightfully paraphrasing, man. And Salakia, we are in transit, okay? But like I said, this morning, this was this morning, and we were driving together, and, it was just constantly on my head, constantly in my mind, and I was just, thinking about it, because I was like, damn, bro, like, fuck, it was just messing with me, man. And right then and there, the whole time this car was driving in front of me, I didn't see the words in the back of his car. But eventually, the Lord, revealed that to me right before we changed paths. All right, me and this car, because the car was right in front of me, but it turned. All right, but right before it turned, the Lord revealed it unto me, and I was able to take a picture, all right, of what it said. Okay, because of the fact that the Lord wanted that message solely, all right, to reach his prophet, his men, okay? And that's how the Lord works, man. You know, that guy, he probably put that back there. You know, certain people just put certain messages behind their car, on their car, all right, not knowing that the whole sole purpose was for the Lord to give me a message,
Right.
okay? For the Lord to send me a message, man, okay? So that's why you got to continuously believe and trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, and understand that no matter what happens or what goes down, the Lord is going to be there to protect, all right, and preserve us, all right, from anything that comes, against us, okay? Now, that was on that?
Yeah, I got a precept.
Go ahead.
This is Psalms 37, verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord Yahweh, and he delighteth in his way.
So the steps of a good man is ordered by the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man. So everything is of the Lord's will. Everything is of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai's will. So, understanding that, there's nothing to worry about. All right? Just trust that the Lord is guiding your steps, all right, unto abundance, all right, unto life, all right, unto mercy. Okay? So you got to continue to trust the Lord no matter what shift or change or season that comes into your life. All right? You got to trust the Lord through that process, man. And that's all the Lord is looking for, is your trust, is your faith, is your belief in Him, and understanding that the Lord is going to constantly preserve you and protect you from anything that comes against you. Okay? That's the beautiful thing about it, bro. So when you get that in your head, when you understand that everything is of the will of the Lord, it allows you to have more peace, man.
Right.
It allows you to have, so you won't worry about anything anymore. Okay? Because that's constantly in your head. Okay? This is all of the Lord, man. All right? The Lord is controlling everything. The Lord is in control. The Lord is driving the boat right now. Okay? And we're just passengers within this boat. But everywhere the Lord makes us turn and go, all right, it was directed from the Lord and ordained from the Lord from the beginning of time.
Right.
Okay? If you can grab Proverbs 12 and verse 25. Grab it in the KJV and the NO2. First KJV though.
This is Proverbs 12, verse 25. Heaviness in the heart of man maketh it stop. But a good word maketh it glad.
Exactly. So heaviness in the man, all right, makes the heart of a man maketh it stoop. All right. It makes it weighs you down. All right. And ultimately, that heaviness is going to constantly weigh you down and hinder you from growth. Okay? And that's what it was doing, that heaviness that was in my mind, all right? It was like, it was just weighing down on my chest, on my mind, and I couldn't think of nothing else. I couldn't think of anything else. But ultimately, the Lord had gave me that good word, all right? That good message. And that's what gave me the excitement and the sensation, and the faith booster. Because at that very moment, I needed that, and the Lord gave that to me. He was like, okay, Lord, I look at it as the Lord was telling me to calm down. Everything is going to be all right. Everything's going to be fine. It's in my hands, all right? Nothing you can do, nothing you feel like you could do. You can't control the situation, but I can, all right? And understanding that and knowing that you're doing the Lord's work, all right, it puts you into peace, man. Because the Lord isn't going to, allow you to, go down a path that will destroy you.
Right.
Okay? Lord do certain things for a reason, man. It's nothing's a coincidence. Lord don't just allow this to happen for no reason. Okay? Nothing is in vain. The Lord is allowing all these things to happen in our lives, all right, to build us up for a better purpose. Okay? So ever since, I just been feeling, at ease, man. All right? That's the best way I can explain it. At ease, bro. Because the Lord had eased my spirit. All right? The Lord lifted that heaviness from off of my spirit once He showed me the message. Okay? Once He gave me that message. Go ahead, grab an NLT.
Proverbs 12 and 25. Worry weighs a person down. An encouraging word cheers a person up.
Exactly. So worrying, it weighs a person down, bro. Like, you get into a down spirit. All right? Because you constantly just thinking about, all right, the problem ahead, the problem that is in front of you, okay? But a cheerful word, all right, is what get all that weight off your shoulders, off your chest, all right? And faith, all right, it brings up your faith, man. All right, it boosts your faith, and that's something you want to have, especially when brothers deal with certain things like doubt, certain demons. All right, you go through certain type of hell. All right, the best thing to have is faith, because faith it enables the belief of things not seen, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know that, okay, maybe it looks how it looks. It looks like I'm cooked, man. All right, but the way it looks to the Lord. All right, the Lord got a whole different plan. All right, so it may look like I'm cooked, but the whole time the Lord is building me up for something better, bro. Okay? Lord is taking you through a different route. All right? That's why when certain things happen or certain changes come into your life, you can't be scared of it. You got to embrace it, bro. All right? Be happy for the change, man, because the Lord had made this change. The Lord brought this change. Okay? And you walk into that change with, the utmost faith in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And that's how it is in Jacob's trouble. The Lord is going to bring certain things, put you into certain situations, and you got to continue to have faith and be ready for it, man, so you can be able to be delivered from it. That's what you got to do, bro. That's the point. All right? Is you got to continue to fight, man. You got to continue to believe in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. All right? And the Lord is going to continue to deliver you from each and every situation again and again and again. All right? Mm-hmm. But the moment your faith fails and you lose, all right, the faith, you lost in life, man. Okay? No matter what type of, so-called, quote-unquote, L's you take here in this life, the real L is when you lose the truth, man. Is when you lose the Lord. Okay? And that's when the game is over. But as long as you still got the Lord and your faith in the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you ain't lost nothing, man. All right? You're on a path of winning. All right, the great W, the great win, all right, that not many can obtain. So you got to continue to have that mindset and that faith and belief, all right, to know that the Lord is constantly protecting you and preserving you from the hell to come, all right, or from destruction. The Lord has redeemed us from destruction, all right, and you got to have gratitude for that, bro. Once you know that and you understand that, and you see that the Lord is in control, man, all that weight get lifted off your shoulders, bro. Sometimes we put that weight on ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Sometimes, the situation don't be as serious as you think it is, but you're constantly putting that weight onto yourself. All right? You constantly putting yourself in that spirit and that mindset. And that's what's destroying you. So you got to, you got to examine yourself, rebuke that spirit of doubt, all right? And continue on to trust in the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Okay? You got any other scripture?
Nah, that was it.
I got this one real quick.
Okay.
It says, 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 7. Give me 1 second. It says, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you. All right? And in NLT it says, give all your worries and cares to Yahweh. All right? For he cares about you. All right? So you got to give all your worries and your cares to the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. Why worry? Yahweh's in control. Okay? Because the Lord cares for us, man. The Lord is going to protect us. All right? And then that picture, you can barely, see it at the top. But like I said, that those words says, why worry, man? And that's the main thing I was, going through is worrying. All right? So that's how it is, bro. The Lord will put messages and things, in your face, and you got to be able to be in the spirit to see it in the spirit. See, if I was carnal, all right, I wouldn't catch that.
Right.
I would have looked at that and continued to kept worrying.
Yeah.
Continue to, be in my thoughts, in my head of doubt. All right. I would have continued that out, bro. But instead, I was in the spirit, bro. The Lord got the spirit on us, brothers, so we can see these things. All right. And we can continue with the spirit. So we don't worry about these certain things that come and attack us, a certain afflictions and the hell we gotta catch, bro. A lot of times you gotta be excited for it, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn, this is a new challenge. I wonder what I'm gonna get out of this one. What lesson I'm gonna learn from this? Okay. The Lord, you look at challenges as a chance of growth, as a time to grow, and the Lord is challenging you to grow, man. All right. Because once you get pushed, all right, or once you get stopped at a certain point, you got to overcome that point, all right? And to overcome that point, you got to go to the next level, okay? So the Lord will put these certain things in our face and these certain afflictions, make us go through these certain things, all right? So we can go to the next level, man, all right? So you don't stick at the same level, okay? So, believe that the Lord, everything is in the Lord's hands, bro. Have trust in the Lord, bro. All right? I'm going to bring this one out, and this is it. That's all I got. This is Psalm chapter 55 and verse 22. It says, "Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee, and he shall never suffer the righteous to be moved." All right? So cast your burdens upon the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and he's going to sustain you, man. All right? That's the ultimate goal, is to cast your burdens upon the Lord, man. The Lord got everything else. The Lord is driving, man. You just got to sit back in the passenger seat and, keep your seatbelt on. All right? Because it's going to get bumpy. All right? It's going to get bad, but you got to continue to believe. All right? Continue to trust in the Lord. All right? It says in NLT, "Give your burdens to the Lord, and he will take care of you. He will not permit the godly to slip and fall." So just give your burdens to the Lord, and he going to take care of you, bro. He ain't going to permit for you to slip and fall. The Lord ain't going to put you through certain things that's going to destroy you. The Lord's only going to put you through certain things that's going to build you into the man that you needed to be of the elect. That's going to mold you. That's what the Lord is doing, is molding you, man. All right? And the scripture says, Apostle Paul said, the race. He called this the race. And it's a crazy, that's a beautiful, example, because when you're in a race, you get tired, all right? You get, you start to worry. You see the people on the sidelines watching you. They just chilling, they drinking. They ain't got to do much running. They just watching you, all right?
You got all these emotions coming in.
All these emotions coming in. You getting tired. You feel like stopping. You feel like quitting, all right? You trip once or twice. All right, you slip once or twice. All right, but you got to still get back up. And all the way into the end of that race. And those are the ones, all right, that get the prize, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so always look at it as a race, man. All right? And try to get to the end of that race, man. Okay? That's the goal, is to get to the finish line. So, you got anything else with that?
No, that was it.
Fine. With that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash. Once again, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who teach and rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom, Makim.